We're going to take it from the same place, from this button, whenever you're ready.
Tech Week is, I think, my favorite part of the process. It is where everything comes together into the theater finally. It's when the actors come into the space, it's when we actually do everything with the scenery, with the lights, and bring all the different people together, all different departments together for the first time. I am the production stage manager, and that's a role that can mean a lot of different things depending on which company that you're at, but here I am in charge of both of our shows this season and in charge of all of the technical things and making sure everything happens when it needs to happen during the show. What I am doing is moving cues from one book to another. So I have this script, which I have had with me all throughout this rehearsal process, and there's like scribbled things everywhere of like, oh, I think this is gonna go here. No, it's actually going here. I've got arrows going everywhere. I've got crossed things out. I've got pen, I've got pencil all together. So my job this morning, now that we've like done a run of the show and said all the things, is that I'm moving all of my scribbled notes that make sense to no one but me over to this binder where I'm putting them all on little stickers and I'm putting everything exactly where it needs to go so that during the show, I'm not worried, they're not worried, nobody's worried. I know exactly where everything is, even after it's been moved during tech.
I feel like we're in a great place going into tech this week. The technicians and our staff have been working long days the past few weeks getting to this point. I kind of describe creative theater, technical theater as mountain climbing. Not that I've ever climbed a mountain, but you know, like there's mile markers and things that you have to hit, and our big one is reaching this point today. The last 2 days has been taking everything we've been working the past 2 weeks on and getting it onto stage hung. So we had like our map, our gazebo we've been working on in our carp shop. I think my favorite part of the set is the Peru house. It's this magical, somewhere between miniature and full-size house that exists with exquisite detail and really romantic color. The next mountain to climb is anything that comes up in these rehearsals that we may need to address or fix or add to make the show as polished and magical as we all want it to be.
It's kind of crazy that it's like gone by so fast. Like I seriously think like arrival day was like yesterday. So during Tech Week, I'm one of the deck electricians. So I do gel changes on the lights on stage. It makes me feel like really proud of like the things that I've worked on. I designed for Shapoopy, which was really crazy. And it also makes me like really happy being able to like have like a little bit of me in the show, you know?
I'm surprised that made a noise. Like when Madison asked me to do this, I like remembered all of my 4th grade trombone knowledge in an attempt to make these. So we have one working one, and I took it apart and then looked at how everything was pieced together, and I'm just trying to piece together all of the other ones. I'm actually a fly rail operator. I like got put in props for like a day last week, and I found this project incredibly interesting just because I have a history with instruments, and particularly brass instruments, and have an understanding of like how they work. So I asked to be on this to finish the project. The way trombones work, or the way they're supposed to work, is you have your slide, because this one is essentially completed. But this one, because we only actually had one slide and slide cover that are compatible, because they're all different brands, and different brands are like slightly different. Like the circumference of this like could not fit anything. I think they like came out very, very well, especially this one. I did not expect this one to get like used, because this one is a trumpet gaffer taped to a trombone and then hot glued together with like wooden dowels. 30-foot rule, which is very important in technical theater. is if you can't see it from 30 feet away, they can be gaffed together.
Yeah, Tech Week's super exciting for us. We've been working really hard this session, just getting everything ready. Maddie's been doing a ton of fittings. We have a few notes that we're gonna be working on, and then we're adding wigs and makeup on Wednesday.
So the precursor process to this has been the building process. So I built one singular wig for this show, and then we've amended some of the other wigs that we've had in our stock. The wig that I built was 25 hours worth of ventilating. Ventilating is the process of tying singular hairs into the front or the nape of a wig. So this is the wig that we built for Marion. This will be the lead's wig. After the building process, we get into styling, and that's what we've been doing up until this point.
The trademark hairstyle for this period is the Gibson hairstyle, which is any like huge, really super voluminous hairstyle that is finished with a bun in the back. So this is like the Gibson style. So it's this really rounded shape in the front, typically just whatever bun. So all of the styles that you're gonna see are gonna be updos for our performers who are wearing wigs.
We're trying to go fairly bland through a large part of the show, and Harold Hill brings light and music and color to this poor little town. So the mayor's wife isn't horribly colorful, for example, and where we would typically change her a lot in other shows, our kind of vision of the show is the first act takes place in basically a day. The only thing that's not part of the day is the Wells Fargo wagon coming. And then we come back and suddenly you start seeing splashes of color. So for example, you get the Grecian things going here. We get the guys who are beginning to do the quartet. Harold Hill is always in full color. And Marion, we keep her fairly muted. So like, for example, our Marion starts in something like this, and then she ends the show in a very bright. So we've tried to progress it as best we can. So the biggest challenges in tech are the, oh, I didn't know that person was supposed to be on stage. And the real challenge, as you know from being on stage, is the quick turnaround for quick changes. And then this is our band room right now for a Music Man that we have in here. All of our band outfits for the kids. We have yet to put these into the hats that will go and make our marching band. But these are actually Hilton Head High School's old band uniforms. It's some friends of ours. They were getting ready to throw them away, saved them. And so we've actually fitted them on. We have to still, one of the things is high school band, and while we have high school actors, some of them are smaller or younger. And so we still have to go through, and we're not allowed to alter some of the costumes that we borrow, but we're allowed to marginally do some things. So we'll like tack elastic in the bottom so these will crunch, and at least no matter how long the sleeve is, it'll stop at the wrist. Yeah. And that's an excellent opportunity for students like Lily, who's out here working on some things, who are looking at costuming to actually have a variety. They worked on building some things, but then a large part of costuming is trying to just make it work.
First dress, I feel great. We're all in costume for the first time, and I always love the element of adding something else into the equation. And for me, putting on a costume makes me more in the character. And
yeah, does it feel different being in the whole?
Yeah, a little bit. And then when I get my hat on, it's completes the look. Tech Week's been great. A lot of Q to Q, so there is a lot of waiting, but it's great to bond with the cast and see the set, which has been amazing. Now I can kind of see how my character goes through the show and how he changes. Now I'm starting to work with Jacob, the director, on the arc of my character.
Everyone clear on plan?
Yes.